Is it fair for a man to ask for days off that are provided to women for menstrual leave? Note this is not my opinion. Please don't harass me. I was talking to a friend about a company group set up to support women in business and promote DEI. In my opinion, providing women or menstruating people with 2 days menstrual leave per month is a decent, pretty basic thing do. Human empathy 101. But my friend said, how is it fair if male colleagues have to work 2 days more in the same job per month? I argued that if a person was sick then you give them time off. But he said it's not sick leave. It's different and that it would only be fair if everyone gets the same time off. He's kind of right that there is a difference between standard vacations days and sick leave. In my country you need a doctor's note to take any sick leave. But it still seems gross, especially for a man, to look at the situation and talk about inequality. What do you think is an appropriate arrangement around menstrual leave? And what should I say to my friend to convince him? I tried telling him he's just an idiot. It was not effective. How about just as much sick days as an individual needs? Works fine in most of Europe and other parts of the world. Because it's none of your employer's business why you're sick. Germany public sector, you only need a doctor's note if you're sick longer than 3 days. Should be the norm. This is a labor issue being framed as a gender issue to further divide workers and benefit the ruling class. Health benefits, accommodations and sick leave need to be increased significantly across the board for everyone, and menstrual leave accommodations should fall under those expansions. I think menstrual leave, while well-intended, might just become a reason not to hire a fab people. It would be a lot better if the company simply promoted taking sick leave when needed and took away the requirement for a doctor's note. How would a doctor's note work for chronic illnesses? Would they provide a diagnosis letter and then just submit that every time they need time off due to a flare-up? Or do they need to go to a doctor to confirm they have a flare? Ideally, everyone should get the same amount of sick leave, which should cover all unexpected absences, including menstrual leave. An entire segment of the population getting extra regular sick leave might influence hiring, no matter how illegal that is. I think we as people need to work less. Menstrual leave should be a thing, but also so should mental health leave. So should parental leave. So should voting days. Basically, there should be more days off for people in general. That it's not that the days off for menstruation is the issue. It's the lack of free time that we as laborers, all of us, are experiencing. Sure, give women 2 more days off cause they need it, but all of us need more days off in general. This is a recipe for disaster. Employers will instantly hire less women if they cost 24 days of paid leave on top of any other benefits that all employees have. I have a much bigger problem with smokers that are allowed smoke breaks when other employees don't get fresh air breaks. I'm not a fan of days off for a specific medical reason. It's not my job's business if I need a day or for debilitating cramps or the flu. Sick days are sick days. I know everyone wants to mandate X amount of period days off, but that will just cause resentment. I have periods where I'm completely fine to work. No issue. And ones where I need to stay at home for 2 days. We just need to be more accepting of calling out sick. It would be better to give everyone 2 free sick days a month, no questions asked. If everyone got the same amount of days off, it wouldn't create an incentive for employers to not hire women on the basis of those days off. So I can see an argument in favor of fairness there. That's not what your friend is saying. Though I can hardly blame anyone for wanting more days off, regardless of how dodgy the justification is. Wow, your company actually has sick leave instead of PTO and you don't have to spend your entire sick day in the doctor's office to get a note? What must that be like? That's a bad idea because it devalues women's work even further. I think there's some sense in having workers share the same conditions, and I have also met women that I wouldn't want to see working when in menstrual pain. I've also had the opinion that smoking breaks is for everybody. Smoking or not, equal rights is a good thing and may keep people from being discriminated against. I think everyone deserves generous sickness leave and accommodations rather than menstrual leave. Of course, menstruating should be acknowledged as an acceptable to unwell to work reason. But so could other conditions that affect all genders, migraines or other chronic issues. So to one extent I agree. True inclusivity means covering all reasons that can mean that someone is not well enough to work. Not everyone on their period is too unwell to work. This is a condition called dysmenorrhea, and perhaps there can be other conditions with overlapping symptoms. What about migraines, IBS, chronic pain flare-ups? The list goes on. I don't like the idea of menstrual leave at all, first of all, because it's not my company's goddamn business when I'm in my period. And secondly, because we should just have adequate sick time for everyone to take as needed. Endometriosis? Ulcerative colitis? MS flares? Cancer treatment? All of it merits sick leave. I think that if only women get these days off, it would play against us when getting hired. So my opinion is that everyone should get these 2 days, and maternal and paternal leave should be exactly the same, and it shouldn't be a choice. It should compulsory. No, it's not fair. But neither is it fair that women have to deal with the joy of periods. I'm a dude, and I wouldn't trade in no periods for 2 extra days off work. Really bad menstruation can take you out for much more than 2 days. Anyways, I'd rather see a 4-day work week and sick leave that people can take without hassle. And if it was mandated by law, every company would have to do it, so no company would be out financially. Many women don't have significant symptoms with their period. I wouldn't have any use for menstruation leave. Just let people use their discretion about when to be out sick. People don't understand that is not a gift, is a help hand. I think it would be better for the company to take up a generous sick leave policy so people can take days they need for health. I have chronic pain and other issues that require doctor visits and even mental health days, and could use 2 days a month. I am also guessing there are many women out there who will get their period disablement on a weekend yet still make sure to take those 2 extra days because they can. I don't want to be that person, but I do see both sides. It actually is basic human empathy. But at the same time, that's 24 days of PTO. Almost an additional month of work. And in some European countries that's half your holiday time. To avoid gender politics, butthurt people, and potential lawsuits, just give everyone the 2 days. Problem solved. Moving on. It is medical sick leave, period. I think people of all genders need more flexibility in the workplace. Everyone gets sick sometimes. And periods aren't the only reason someone might need time off during the month. It's not going to be all women. It's only going to be some women. The women who aren't in crippling pain during their period will work during their period, and they won't make a whole thing about it because they're not dicks. What about women who don't get very bad periods? Or women who have gone through the menopause? Transgender women? Pre-op transgender men? The problem with drawing arbitrary lines is they're arbitrary. I think you can flip this question on its head a bit. Why not just give everybody an extra 2 days off per month, for whatever they need it for? The appropriate arrangement is PTO that allows for 3 days a month. It could be for anything.